Hey guys, we are back with some more New York Islanders franchise mode, and in this one, we're going to continue the simulation. But before we do, we're going to make a couple of line changes, namely the penalty kill. As we are currently 8-4, we're top of the division. Nothing wrong with that, but there has been something wrong with our penalty kill, as per it's been for the past season and a half now. Our penalty kill is currently at 72.2, and a 72.2% penalty kill is not going to get you by down the stretch. So the changes that we've made to the penalty kill are interesting ones for sure. Instead of Mike Commodore, we have Andres Mueller on the penalty kill. And at this point, I've run out of ideas for the penalty kill because I feel like we put our best defensive players on it before and it clearly wasn't working. So what I'm doing here, instead of going by giveaways and takeaways, I'm going purely based off the defensive and physical categories. As you can see with Andreas Mueller, he has an 89 for defensive awareness, 86 shot blocking, and 91 stick checking, and then 89 body checking. And when you compare that to Mike Commodore, he has 84, 79, 84, and then 83. So again, I'm going purely based off the better player here. And then instead of Joel Farabee, we're going to put Doug Hines. Because Doug Hines actually has a pretty good defensive category. Only an 84 defensive awareness, but his shot blocking is at a 91 and stick checking 96. And then body checking as well at a 91. So we're going to try him out on the penalty kill instead of, if you compare him to Joel Farabee, he has an 85 defensive awareness, 84, 86, and an 85 body checking. So going old school here for the penalty kill in terms of determining where to put players based purely off of their attributes as opposed to their analytics. But clearly the analytics thing hasn't been working out for us on the penalty kill, so we may as well try something different, getting Mueller and Hines on there. And that's the only change we're making because pretty much everything else has been rolling as we are 8-4. So we're now going to continue, but before we get to the simulation, we do have a goalie issue to address with Jace Oda and Jason Hutchinson, as Jace Oda is an 87 overall now, and Hutchinson stayed at an 85. However, Hutchinson is still playing very well. 929 save percentage in 3 games. Oda has played more with 9 games, as he had 910. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off, if it's not already off, we're going to turn off automated goal rotations, and we're going to see which one of them is the better goaltender throughout the year. And yeah, we'll turn that off right now. So we'll go, I suppose, with the 2-2 loss ratio, because I don't want to take a guy out after a loss because that kind of, deflates their confidence for a goaltender especially. So we'll go to 2-2 loss ratio. We'll start with Hutchinson since Oda has gotten more games already. So Hutchinson, if you want to prove that you're the starting goaltender for this team, this is the year to do it, because Oda, he looks like he might be catching up to you in terms of, well, he's already passed you in terms of overall, but in terms of general stats, he's not too shabby. 910 save percentage, but I'm really pulling for Hutchinson here because he obviously had a solid year in his first year in the NHL, 933 save percentage in 19 games. Or I'm hoping that he can get back to that. And we haven't really seen that from Jace Oda. I mean, he's decent ever since he came over to North America, but he hasn't posted anything too spectacular. So, and then plus, Oda's contract comes up this year. And if we take a look at that, he probably wants, I'm going to say, over $7 million at least. Yeah. Oh. I mean, I know it's early and he doesn't want an extension, but 9.3 for Oda. If he's asking for that much, I expect to see a stellar performance this season from Jace Oda. So here we go. Time for the simulation. Let's go 2 games at a time, as to keep our word to Jace Oda and Jason Hutchinson. So first 2 games for Hutchinson against Boston and Florida. Almost said Philly. Decline trade. Here we go. Of course. Just has to work out like that, doesn't it? Jason Hutchinson has been injured with an injured wrist until November 8th. So I guess for right now, we're riding Jay Soda. Jeez, of course. And now, I'm not bringing up Volkov. Well, I guess I have to for right now. Yeah, it's a good thing we turned off automated goal rotations because Volkov's only a 64 at the moment. So unless by chance Oda gets injured as well, we're just gonna roll with him until Hutchinson gets back. At least it wasn't too big of an injury. He'll be back, I think, within a week. So yeah, we're just gonna have to fill in Kubis here, I suppose, and then put Bates in the starter for the AHL. But it shouldn't be for too long. Yeah, he should be back by the 8th, I think is what it said. So there you go. What in the... okay, sure. Game is making me send down Volkov. There you go. Hutchinson is now back on the roster. So we're going to leave him in the backup position since he is still partially injured. And but as soon as he is completely healed and ready to go, we will resume with the 2-2 loss ratio. So, but hey, Oda's been winning games here, so we'll keep him going. 4-3 win against Boston, and then against Florida, he had a 4-1 win, and then a 5-4 loss against Buffalo. So we'll go one more game for Oda. We'll see what he can do here against Carolina, and he has a 5-1 win, so we'll keep him rolling. San Jose, we have a 6-2 loss, so we're going to take him out now. We got to stick to our word. You know, don't want to take them out whenever they get one loss, but if they get two, especially if it's a bad loss, such as 6-2, then the other guy is getting in there. So Jason Hutchinson, now's your time to take the ball and roll with it. So let's go. The next two games, Jersey and Detroit. One away, one at home. One division rival. See what we can do. They're pretty bad. Oh man, a 3-0 loss to the New Jersey Devils, and then Detroit. We have an injury to Christian Ragnarsson now. Here, it's either Pouliot or Rabbit. I'm gonna put Pouliot in there since we put Rabbit in last time. I mean, I guess we'll just reunite the original first line, put Mueller back on there with Barzal and Wallstrom, and then for this we'll do. Man, there's not really a whole ton of options here. We'll put, oh goodness, so let's see. Goal scorer, playmaker, put Ottoson on there. And then I want Pouliot on the fourth line, and we'll get Doug Hines up here with Pekarainen and Horvat. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, right, Barry. Barry. How's he doing so far? 5 assists in 19 games. I mean, he's not doing terrible. His giveaways to takeaways aren't terrible either, 8-6. But would it be better at this point to put Mueller in there? Mirko Mueller, to be specific. Has he done anything on the power play? Let's see, 1 power play point. He's not really helping there. We're roughly a quarter of the way through the season. So yeah, I think what we'll do is, unless... Is he a depth defenseman now? He's a minor top 2. No, so we'll send him down to the minors. We'll get Mirko Mueller in there. And then as soon as we figure all this out, we will send Nicholas Barry down to the minors. So who's going on right here? Barzal, Wallstrom, Mueller, Strike, Commodore. Ragnarsson was there before. We'll put Pekarainen. Why not? See if he could do something. Then same thing here. Instead of Pouliot, we'll go Pekarainen. And then, yeah, that's looking good. Power play. Don't want Pouliot there. Mueller, Barzal, Wallstrom, Commodore, Riley, Strite, Czak, Mueller, Butcher. And then, I guess, Pekarainen, he's got the puck skills. He's got decent offensive awareness, too. He just doesn't have the shot, which is what my main concern is with him. But... still, may as well give him the opportunity. Couldn't hurt. I believe that is it. Yeah, so we'll see what that does. And there you go, 4-3 win against Detroit. We'll keep him in there for one more game. And against Dallas, we have a 6-2 win. There you go. So another game against New Jersey. See if we can win it this time. Replace player for the AHL. And... We do. 6-2. There you go. That's what I like to see. So game against the Rangers. We have another slow simulation. There you go. 5-4. Pittsburgh. We'll keep him in, even for the back-to-back. Ragnarsson is back. We will definitely get him back in. How's Pouliot done? 4 games played. Nothing. -2. Turnovers. Well, he's actually been solid for the turnovers. 5-2. And 5 hits as well. So he's been physical. How's Commodore doing so far? 9 points on the season. He hasn't been terrible either. And plus, we need him for faceoffs. And then Hines. I mean, no one's been doing terrible, but we'll just take Pouliot out of there because Ragnarsson is definitely a better player than Pouliot. So we'll get Hines back here, Ottoson back there, and get the lines back to the way they were. Did Pekarainen have any power play points here? Doesn't look like it, no. Okay, so Ragnarsson back on. And actually, let's get Nicholas Berry down to the minors before I forget a second time. Yeah, so he can get some conditioning down there in the AHL, but he should be ready to go for next year, presuming he plays the rest of the year in the AHL. And he should, unless he gets injured. So we will take out, I guess, Anroth. Yeah, Anroth has been here for a while. He hasn't really progressed too much. So we'll put Barry in, and we'll put him on the first line with Peterson. Or actually, I want him with a lefty. We'll put Walford's in there. And then I guess we'll get Clapperton up here. Then Peterson right there. Okay, so we'll also get him on the power play. Oh, he's already there. Okay, good. Good. All right, back to the simulation. And a 2-1 loss to Pittsburgh. So that's not a terrible loss, but it's still a loss is a loss. So we have to keep our word here. We have to go back to the other goaltender. So this is going to take a little bit longer than usual just because we're manually rotating all the goaltenders. Or, well, you know, there's only 2, but regardless. Oh, no, did not want to save file. That, cancel. Okay. Let's get back to the simulation now. But anyway, where was I? I think I was saying something about, like, just, you do what you need to do regarding the goaltender situation here. So the first for Johansson and a 5th. No. Don't need to mess up anything at the moment, because we're relatively playing well. It's just the penalty kill that I'm concerned about, and Johansson wouldn't fit into that category of being a penalty killer, so we're just going to ignore that. So there you go, 2 solid wins against the Montreal Canadiens, so we'll go another 2 games for Jace Oda with Florida and Winnipeg. And we'll see what happens. There you go, solid 3-2 victory, December 1st, yep. And then a 2-1 victory for him there as well. So now we can really keep going here. Detroit and Ottawa coming up. We got a little bit of a break here, 5 days with nothing doing. But we are currently 19-8, so I really have nothing to complain about at the moment. Let's just keep going. We'll view the draft class at January 1st. There you go, solid 4-1 win, and we can just keep winning with Oda in there, so he can keep going. I mean, I was pulling for Hutchinson, but as long as he can live up to that $9 million that he's asking for, I'll gladly give it to him. There's a 4-1 win, very nice. Jeffrey Dietz has been injured as well, very nice. Well, not very nice, but we are on a solid winning streak right now. How many games is that in a row? Going back to this first Montreal game, that's 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 8 games in a row. So we'll keep going here with Jay Soda. Vancouver. They're very good. Walfordson, yep, there you go. And there's our first loss in quite some time. 23-9 now are your New York Islanders on the season. Dietz is back. Yep, we just keep losing people left and right. People keep coming back from injuries. I'll deal with all this at the end of the month. It's popping up way too much right now. All right, so there you go. There's a loss. We'll count shootout and overtime losses, so we'll get Hutchinson back in there. But that was a solid run for Jay Soda. Really was. Let's take a look at his stats. Oh yeah, 920 save percentage. He's starting to look elite now. And Jason Hutchinson is around the same save percentage at the moment in half the amount of games. So we'll give him some time here if he can put together some wins. But if he can't, then I don't know. It's looking like the Jace Otis show here from now on. Because again, I was pulling for Hutchinson there, but I don't know. Okay, so it's been about an hour since that last clip. I have no idea what I was talking about. So we're just going to sort of go ahead here with the simulation. And all I remember is that Hutchinson was in net. And that I wanted to check the stats to see if the penalty kill is any better. So let's do that right now. And we are currently at actually, I could just look at the top. We're at a 76.6 penalty kill. That is significantly better than when we last checked. When we last checked, it was a 72.2, and now it is a 76.6, so looking much better. So we'll just leave the lines the way they are, as we're 23-9-1. So you really can't beat that. Definitely making up for last year so far in the regular season currently. So we will simulate these two games against New York and Carolina. And let's see what they bring us. 2-1 win. Okay. And against Carolina, we have Walfredson coming back from injury. That is very nice. And a 3-2 overtime loss to Carolina. So, Nashville. Let's see. Come on, Hutchinson. Come on, Hutchinson. Do some good here. There you go. 5-2 win. St. Louis. See, come on, win would be nice. Kyle Wood getting all these injuries back. There you go, solid 4-1 win. And against Philly, we have a 3-2 win. There you go. That's what I like to see. So I'm gonna stop it here, not for stats or anything, but to check the draft class, as we haven't done that in a while, maybe even at all. But still. Roughly halfway through the season, we should have some information on these prospects. So, Colin Steos. He doesn't look too shabby. Got a good amount of points, but we're not sure about the grades yet. So, outside of the top 5, no exact medium elites. Let's go down here a little bit. Some low elites. Sean Blaine. Alright, well, he's a gem. We'll pin him. Niederberger. And then Jesus. Yeah, I mean, all these guys are going late. Fleury is going pretty early. Second round, but all these guys here, we could definitely pick them up. And then let's see if there's any... high top 6. Jacobson. Well, he's not exact high top 6, but could keep an eye on him. And then Brennan Milson. He's not that bad either. He's got 3 Bs in there, but he is going top 7. So we're probably not getting him. Shen. Ooh. Got the A there for shot. Filatov. Axelson. He's going top 15 though. Eaton. Not an exact reading on him. And no top 4s. There's a low top 4 defenseman. Christian Lindback. Yep, there you go. And that's about it for that. So what I'm going to do now is manually assign the scouts, since there doesn't appear to be too much in terms of medium elite prospects that are going late. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, so the scouts have been assigned. Now that that's done, let's check the AHL stats. I'm not going to check the NHL stats just yet because we're doing well. We don't really need to. So let's check out how our young guys are doing. Goaltenders. Volkov. Not a great save percentage. He's only played 8 games, though. Bates, 26. I don't know why the computer's doing that. Defensively, you have Peterson, Chung, and then Barry with 9 points in 15 games. So that's looking good. And then forwards, let's see. I'm mainly concerned about Kolesnik. 15 points. I mean, it's decent. And then Lynn, 20 points. Yeah, he's low elite. Yahur with 12. And then Dietz, yeah, I don't think he's going to turn out to be much. With 2 points in, what was it, 26 games? Yeah, he's Not really looking good there. But anyway, let's get back to the simulation. As, again, we don't really have too much to worry about. And I believe Hutchinson has 1 loss at the moment. As we go back here, yeah, it was the overtime loss against Carolina, right? So we go down here, we'll go past Colorado, see what happens there. And I believe they're a pretty good team, as we beat them 4-2, as they are not a good team. All right, game against Anaheim. 7-6 overtime win against Anaheim. I mean, they're not too good either. 14-21-6 are the Anaheim Ducks. So, a bit curious that it even got to overtime there, but at least we got the 7th goal. Edmonton, are they any good this year? Let's see. Edmonton Oilers, Joel Farabee has been injured with a concussion. That's not what you like to see. So we're going to have to fill in. We'll put Rabbit back in there. See what he can do. And the Oilers are actually good this year. 28-12-5. It's about time. And we lost to them 6-3. So then we're heading up against New Jersey, though. And they are pretty bad in this as well. And that is going to be a 7-0 victory. Another game against New Jersey. So a lot of games against New Jersey in this stretch here. Pablo Scarabelli has been injured. Everyone's getting injured, as far as I'm concerned. May as well be everyone. Seems like it. So there's a 4-3 shootout loss. And actually, that I should have taken Hutchinson out there after the game against Edmonton, but whatever. He kind of needed more games anyway. He was falling behind there. So I might give Oda some less starts, since I kind of want to get them an even amount of games, you know. But we'll go to Oda for right now, as he was on a hot streak earlier. Want to see if he could get back to that. So 2 games against Carolina and Washington. Let's do it. Carolina is very good. That is going to be a 3-2 loss and a 7-4 win against the Washington Capitals. Chicago, who are not that good. Let's get a solid victory against them. Come on. Oh my goodness, all these injuries. And the trades, everything popping up, and there's a 4-2 loss for Jace Oda against the Chicago Blackhawks. So we're going to have to get Hutchinson back in there pretty soon after we had originally switched him out. What's Oda's save percentage at now? 918? I don't know. I'm not sure if that's worth $9 million. I gotta be honest. I mean, for $9 million, you gotta expect some, Vezina trophy type numbers. I'm not seeing that at the moment out of Jay Soda, unfortunately. So, game against Toronto. Come on, Hutchinson. Ugh, man, 4-1 loss. And all these trades popping up, probably be an injury here as well. Central scouting, there you go. Everything possible is popping up at the moment. Yep, Blake. Oh my goodness. When will they stop? Alright, game against the Rangers. And that is going to be a shootout loss. We can't get anything going right now in terms of our goaltenders winning any games. So we're going to get... should I give him one more game just because... Again, Oda's kind of played a lot more. 30 games to 24. Yeah, we'll keep Hutchinson in there for right now. I want the games to be somewhat even towards the end of the year. And you have to think that Oda's going to go on another hot streak at some point. Just because he went on that 8-game winning streak earlier. He's got the talent to do it. There you go. 4-0 win against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Ottawa, we have yet another slow simulation. Let's see what's happening here. I didn't see what happened. That is an overtime or a shootout loss. Yeah, that is a shootout loss against the Ottawa Senators. So, I mean, yeah, I'll take them out. It's 3 losses now. So you got to get something going here. But, man, it doesn't feel like either of our goalies can get anything going at this point in time. So let's see what Vegas and I believe it was Toronto. That's all. Yeah, Vegas and Toronto. Let's see what that does for us. If we can't win these games either, then it's just, I don't know what's going on. If that's the team or the goaltenders or something. Rabbit has 2 assists. We'll get Farabee back in there as Farabee has been to my knowledge, yeah, phenomenal on the fourth line. 41 games, only halfway through the season, already 18 points on the fourth line. Keep in mind, he's not getting any power play time. So that's pretty impressive for Joel Farabee there. As we go into the game against Vegas, they're pretty good as well. 5-2 win, there you go. Okay, Czech is I don't remember ever taking him out, so we'll just continue. And there's a 5-4 shootout loss, so at least we're getting points. Game against Washington. I mean, not that we desperately need them, right? We're in a pretty good spot, but, you know, I guess everyone counts. There you go. 6-1 win. And then game against Tampa. Come on now. Stop being so slow. Okay, overtime loss. I'm going to keep it at 2 losses for right now, just for Jay Soda, because of the fact that he's played a lot more games. And again, want to get an even, or at least close to even amount of games for these guys, just so we can have a solid reading on them at the end of the season as to whether we want to pay Jace Oda that $90 million or whether we want to keep rolling with Jason Hutchinson. So here we go. Winnipeg, Boston, and Philly for Hutchinson. All away games. This will be a good test. Of course. Matthew Barzal has now been injured with a neck strain. That is... Yeah, you don't like to see all these injuries. So we're going to have to move up. I'm going to say Mueller to the first line center. And then we'll have to go Ottoson, Hines, and then we'll also have to fill in, I guess we'll go Pouliot. We'll switch back and forth between Rabbit and Pouliot here. Unless one of them just dominates. And, yeah, I can't have Pouliot there. We'll put Czech here. Then Streit, Ragnarsson. I'm going to put Horvat there as well. Yeah, we'll have to go Mueller up here, and then I'll go Czech right here. There you go. And yeah, that's a big loss. That is a big loss. Mueller up, and then who's here? Commodore Ragnarsson. We'll get Czech with Streit. And then the 3-on-3, we're gonna have to do the exact same thing. Pouliot out, Czech in. Goodness. Yeah, and then it's going to be Horvat and Mueller as the extra attackers. And then the shootout, like Ryan Wallstrom, Streit, Mueller. Put Ragnarsson there. And then flip him and Mueller. Alright, there we go. So, next game, that's going to be a loss for Jason Hutchinson, and we got another trade coming up. Oh, man. Come on now. Boston, they're really not that good. Oh, my goodness. Hutchinson, what you doing there? What's our team doing there? Especially in that game against Winnipeg. Winnipeg isn't that good. At least not this year. Like, Coleman's back. I'll deal with all this later. Maybe towards the trade deadline. I mean, it's only about a week away anyway, so we may as well put all the lines back to the way they were then. Game against Washington. Let's see if this is a win for him. If not, then we're going to have seriously consider looking into something at the deadline here. Oh my goodness. 2-1 loss against the Washington Capitals, who are 21-33-5. I mean, our record is still good, for sure. But when you take a look at how many teams we've been... The teams that we've been losing to, it's not promising. So we might need to do a little review here before the trade deadline of all of our guys, really. Of our lines, even. So Hutchinson is actually partially injured. I didn't even see that. That didn't even pop up. So we'll just roll with... I guess we'll go with Oda from now until the trade deadline, but geez. That is just... yeah. Or we'll go 2 games here and we'll see if he can win both of them. If not, then we're just going to have to... yeah, we're going to have to figure something out. We're going to have to figure out what's going wrong. There you go. 2-1 loss against the Minnesota Wild and against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are also good. Man, all these trades. 3-2 loss. Oh my. We are now on a 3-game losing streak. and we've lost 6 out of our last 7. So I don't like to see that, as we're now down to 3rd place in our division. Luckily, we're still quite ahead of the wild cards, so we do have a little bit of breathing room, but I don't want to get to the point where we're fighting for our lives in the playoffs again towards the last 5 games of the season. So what is going on here in New York? I really have no idea. How's Mirko Mueller doing? Plus 10 and 11 points in 41 games. So as long as his ratios are good, then he's having a solid bounce back season here in the NHL. Yeah, he's got 41 hits as well. He's having a solid year for being a top 6 defenseman who's just basically coming back to the NHL full time. I mean, he hasn't played a full season since, what is that, year number 3? And we're now in year number 8, so yeah. Looking good for Mirko Mueller at the moment. And then Riley and Durat. I mean, we may as well just take a look at the stats screen here instead of the lines, because we kind of have to do that anyway. But man, what is going on? I don't know. I really couldn't say at the moment. That's why we're gonna have to take a look into the stats here. So Wahlstrom, 39 goals. Streit with 24. So he's on pace for 30, but not 40. Ragnarsson with 16. He's on pace for, I would say, presuming Matt Barzal gets back soon, I would say almost 70 points for him. So that'd be good for Ragnarsson. Let's check total points. So Wahlstrom with 62, Barzal with 58, Mueller with 54, and then Streit with 52, Ragnarsson 50, Cizek 38, Hines 35. Hines with 35, really? On the 4th line? Isn't he on the 4th line? He doesn't even have power play time. Oh my, Doug Hines. Might have to consider putting him up to the 3rd line or something. He's doing very well. Morgan Riley 34, Horvat 29, Commodore 27, Ottoson 23, Farabee 21, Pekkarinen 19, Butcher 18, Severson 18, Duret 15, Montour 14, Mueller 11, Rabbit 2, Pouliot 1. So I think I see part of the problem right off the bat here is that 5 out of the 6 of our regular defensemen are kind of down there in terms of points. I mean, you expect it out of Mueller, out of Duret, but Severson and Butcher especially, I expect a little bit more out of offensively. He's doing better than last year for sure, but he's usually around the 35 to 40 point range, and he's for some reason not doing that here on the New York Islanders. Damon Severson, I mean, he's had 30 point seasons in the past, so he's definitely not. This definitely isn't his best season, at least in terms of his offensive production. In terms of defense, you might be able to say this is his best season. He's plus 27 right now, and 67 hits. But still, we might have to consider going out and looking for an offensive defenseman there, because that is quite the problem right there. I mean, we do have, obviously, Morgan Riley, who has 34 points, but after that, not a whole ton of guys who are going to really dominate offensively on the back end. And then in terms of forwards, I mean, we're fine for point scoring forward-wise. We have a lot of depth there. And in terms of shots, I think we're doing well there as well. Shooting percentage, I mean, Barzal up there at 17.9, Streit 17%, Wahlstrom 15.8. So all of our studs are doing what they're supposed to do in terms of shooting. Power play points, I mean, we'll check the special teams later in the team stats. Let's see face-offs. That could be something. Barzal 55%, Horvat 53.5, Commodore 52.4, Cizek 47.3. Might want to consider switching him to the wing once Barzal comes back. And then hits, Mueller 102 leads our team, and then Wahlstrom with 96, Horvat 94, Ottoson 91, Streit 82, Hines 65, Barzal 56, Commodore 49, Pekkarinen 41, Ragnarsson 39, Farabee 34. How many did he have last year with his former team? 91. Definitely not on pace for that this year. Czek with 34, then Pouliot with 11, Rabbit with 3. Let's check the ratios here. So Mueller with a really good ratio, 50 to 33. That is more like it for him compared to last season where he had 54 to 42. Now he has 50 to 33. So he's having himself a good season. Ottoson, very good as well, 49-34. Strite, very good, 48 to 26. Barzell, 43 to 27. Pekkarinen with 41 to 26 as well. He's doing well. Bo Horvat, 40 to 42. Is that normal for him? He's having a little bit worse of a season than he normally does, at least with turnovers. So we'll keep an eye on that. Ragnarsson could be better as well. Wallstrom is good. Hines could be a lot better, 34 to 51. Commodore is solid for our fourth line center, 32 to 26. Czek could be better, 29 to 32. Farabee is good, 25 to 19. Pouliot, 7 to 5. And then Rabbit, 5 to 6. Fights, Ottoson and Mueller, Andreas Mueller with 1 each. And then goaltenders, this should be interesting. So Jay Soda, 37 games played, 21 wins, 2 shutouts, 916 save percentage, 255 goals against average. And then Jason Hutchinson, 15 wins in 30 games, 2 shutouts as well, 913. So Hutchinson is definitely doing better than last year. We can say that for sure. But the question is here, is Jace Oda going to be earning that $9 million in the offseason with numbers like this? I mean, he definitely could get better. There's no doubt about that. He's 23 years of age, so he's going to grow more. But based off history and based off how much money he wants, would he be worth that money? That's the huge question here going into the trade deadline. I mean, we could always tender him a qualifying offer in free agency, but would we rather just get that out of the way now so we know who our number one is going into the playoffs? Or do we go with both of them into the playoffs so that we are guaranteed a good goaltender, no matter if either of them get injured, we could just put the other one in comfortably? Or do we trade them, one of them now? That's the huge question here. But before we get into the trade deadline stuff, let's take a look at the team stats to see where we're at. As mainly I'm concerned with the penalty kill. Goals for per game, we're fine there. We know we're fine there. We've always been a goal-scoring powerhouse, basically since, year to 3 or 4? Yeah, 3.52 goals for per game. No problem there. Goals against per game. We are actually in the top 3 in the division for once. 2.62 goals against average. Not too shabby. And especially given that Columbus is at the top of the division with a 2.47, we're relatively close. We're within 0.15 of them. So it's not too bad. Power play is good as usual, 24.2%. And penalty kill, 77. So it's getting slightly better as the season has gone on for sure. But probably still not optimal. But it's, again, with that rough start to the season in the first 12 games, with that 72.2, that's really what's, I feel like, dragging it down. As of recently, I feel like it could be somewhere up there in the low 80s, like 81, 82 maybe. So if that's the case, then we're up there in the top 3 in the division. And then as far as records go, we're 17, 9, and 5 at home, 18, 9, and 2 away, and then 3, 5, and 2 in our last 10. So that's, you don't like to see that last 10 there. But overall, we've been solid. So I don't think we're going to go too crazy with any changes, just given that this team has shown that they can get it done. But the recent losing streak does scare me a little bit, especially given that most of the losses we've had over this last stretch have been against bad teams, and I mean bad. Columbus isn't bad. Minnesota isn't bad, but Washington, 22, 34, and 5. And then against Boston, 25, 28, and 7. They're below average. And then Winnipeg as well, 24, 32, and 4. Is Tampa any good? Yeah, Tampa's still pretty good. So that's fair, but Toronto's still pretty good as well. And then maybe Ottawa. No, Ottawa's pretty good. Rangers are decent as well. Then Chicago's bad as well. Below average at least. And we lost 4-2 against them. So I don't really know what to make of this. I don't think we make any major trades. Or any, really, if we have to make a trade, then I don't think we'll be trading any skaters. I think the only trade that I would want to make is either Hutchinson or Oda, depending on if we want to make that trade now or not. And if we don't want to make any trades, then I kind of feel like, in a way, I would be overreacting if we made a trade just because the team has a recent losing streak. Because you know what? Every team has a bad stretch of the season. And we're still in a good position. We're still in a position where we don't have to worry too much. But if it continues, then that's when we have to start worrying. And we're 3-5-2. We're 3-7 in our last 10. So either we change something or we don't. And regardless, we'll see what happens, I suppose, in the next one. I'm going to stop it here. Well, actually, we'll simulate up to the trade deadline. We may as well see what happens in this game against Pittsburgh. All right, that'll be a 4-1 win. So I still think that this team is capable of winning. And with Matt Barzal now back as well, that's even more so true. But change we could make that I mentioned before is we could move Cizek to the wing and then put Mueller at center. So something like this. And then Ottoson down here. Hines in place of Pouliot. And then Pouliot will be replaced by Barzal. So it'd be Ragnarsson, Barzal, and Wallstrom. And then Cizek, Mueller, and Streit. Or even Streit on the left where he could potentially increase his goal scoring, as he has had a lot of success on the left wing in the past. Yeah, I just put Mueller on the left because Cizek was in the middle, and then Mueller is a natural left winger, and then Streit's a natural right winger. So I figured I'd give that a try, but I think I want to go with this right now: Streit, Mueller, and Cizek, and maybe another offensive defenseman. I don't think we have to make any trades. I think that was a bad stretch. But unless we want to trade Oda or Hutchinson now, as opposed to free agency, then I don't think we make any trades. But you guys let me know anyway, because it's obviously it's a scary situation with losing to a lot of bad teams. But again, for the most part, we've been a good team this season. So the question is, would it be an overreaction to trade for, another impact player to see if they would make a difference? That's the huge question. So I'll leave you guys there. And in the next one, we will finish the Year 8 simulation. See you guys then.